Good day and gratitude, family. This is Face the Nation with Bolden Unchained, and we're back again with another reading, another learning of our ancestors, our marvelous, magnificent, brave, most courageous ancestors. Yes, thank you, ancestors. We give gratitude to you. We hold you in the highest honor. Yes, we do. We always will. Our saviors. Mm, mm, mm. And again, this is Face the Nation with Bolden Unchained. We are here for another reading of our greatest saviors who did save us from slavery. If we only knew what we were saved from. Bolden Unchained is here to assist Black America and Black media with the uncovering and the facing of the many agendas, events, operations, projects, studies, acts, laws, bills, codes that are set in place to target Black America. All of these many agendas that are put in place by design. The time, the effort, the money, resources to put all of these efforts against Black America. We can no longer ignore. We can no longer ignore what is our reality. And we don't ignore what is our reality in America. We feel at Bolden Unchained that Black America is in a new awakening. Black America is in another awakening. Now, as we learned in the last reading, in our first reading, I should say, we did finish our second reading. Congratulations. Our first reading, however, Red Summer, the summer of 1919, and the awakening of Black America, was our first awakening. Yeah. And unfortunately, Black America dropped the ball. We fell asleep. We were lulled to sleep. That was by design also. That was a great sacrifice against Black America. We lost our focus, and we are here to get it back. And we're starting with the hurt, with the disconnect, with the self-hatred, the roots of all of these traumas began, or it was strengthened, I should say. Those roots of our self-hatred we're discussing these roots. We're bearing these roots. We're laying them so that we can see exactly what we need to be remembering. We're learning exactly what we never should have forgot. We know that in America, in the education system, some of us were taught, some of us weren't. However, all of us were misled. All of us were misled. And let's get the disclaimer out the way. All right. Copyright disclaimer under 107 of the Copyright Act 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. The fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. My throat feels a little bit better, but it's still quite, strained. And you know, in my past lives, I've said, you know, about that fog I went through. I'm still seeing reports of it and stuff, but you know, I'm drinking my teas. I am going to reach out to our critical thinkers and get some legit teas that I can drink to dissipate the strain in my throat. And the formation is building some type of flame. It's building some type of flame up. But I knew I shouldn't have went through that fog, but I couldn't. I was on the freeway. I couldn't get off. And I had some mask in my glove compartment. But I didn't want to be filling in the glove compartment for the mask on the freeway. We were already driving. Well, I was already driving cautiously. I was about to turn on my hazard lights, to tell you the truth. But so much is going on, Black America. We got to start paying attention. We got to start paying attention. The rest of the world are noticing things because the rest of the world know that Black America is the target. The rest of America knows, because we're talking about America, but the world, in fact, all over this planet, all over our plane, that we were the first person even here. But we hate it all over this place where we all reside. We all live. We all are ordained by the cosmos to be here on this planet. We are riding this same plane. And it's always been that way. Once you were born, you here. You can be here. For white America to feel like they were God, they were ordained to make the decisions, who live, who don't live. They were gifted to enslave the chosen people, the very first people, the original man. Oh, I got to run and take these people their phone. They forgot it in the lobby. I'll be right back. Let me put y'all something to look at. Hello? 12 minutes. Well, call me when they get here and I'll bring the phone downstairs, okay? Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, I'll see you in a few minutes. I apologize. I need an assistant already. We're going to go through these names too also right here. Yeah, I went out this morning. Someone forgot their phone in the lobby, and it's a nice phone. I thought it was my neighbor because it was near his door, but it wasn't. So they called, and I was like, you can come get your phone. And I hope they come on. She said like 12 minutes. So let's find something that you all can watch while I run it down to them when they get here. Because we are in a new awakening. Black Americans in a new awakening. We ain't going to find nothing else to watch. It's just 12 minutes till they get here. I'll run their phone down, then I'll come back up. But Black Americans in a new awakening. We all must refocus our attention. We all must refocus our attention on us. We need to know what's going on in the world so we can know how it's affecting us. But the celebrities, the fashions, this old crazy ass music, the distractions, we got to get all of that out of our system. We can't be saddled. We can't be hooked hip to hip with all these distractions no more. Black America, we're going to have to read. Black America, we must read. You're going to have to read too. I don't know how much y'all knew about Donald Trump's Project 2025. But he in there. He's in office. And Project 2025 is too. Yes, honey, let me get my little receipts. Oh, you know what? I am going to have to put y'all something on. I don't know if y'all knew. I think that was actually my very first video on Project 2025 when I went to the Open Street Broadway and the bee bit me on the lip eating a police sausage. Honey, I shouldn't have ate that meat, but I ate the meat. And the bee was on the police sausage and bit me on the lip. But when I got home, I went live because one of our allies, a nonprofit that was there, had flyers about Project 2025, and I was handing them out. And we didn't know a thing about it. We didn't know the significance of what it would cost us, Black America. So I came home and I went live. That was my first video live on my channel. But it's here now. Project 2025 is here now. And that's it right there. That's it right there. Project 2025. And it is it's the New World Order. If we had a win for Kamala, however you say it, that's the New World Order also. It's just one is a little more progressive than the other one. By progressive, I don't mean good. I just mean one is a little more further along in its attacks than the other one would have been. With Project 2025, I don't think we can even fight another day. But with Agenda 21, which would have been Kamala, we would at least have some time. It would have bought us some time. Such as the education system. You know, Project 2025 will eliminate the Department of Education. If we had a went for Kamala and Agenda 21, we would have still had the Department of Education for some time, because she would have been focusing on the deep state and transhumanism, cybernetic, you know, that type of thing. But with Trump, his whole blueprint, I did download Project 2025. We may start that, you know, for whatever line and we can glimpse out of it. We can at least know what's coming. But I did download it. I couldn't find the physical thing, but I got it, you know, and we'll just work with that the best way we can. But however, Project 2025, and I don't know a lot of this stuff. Check it out. Conservative equal fascism. Militarized police state. Autocracy. Ultra-nationalist Christians equal one world order. So these ultra-nationalist Christians want it to be one world order, y'all. Whatever that may mean for y'all. Black America. One world religion. One world religion. Whatever that's going to mean for y'all. Because it's really 4,200 religions. And but the totalitarian equals the New World Order. All of it. See, all of it interlaps. This one interlaps with that one. And see that part right there? The New World Order right there? They both sides of this wing, this whole bird, this whole vulture, this political bird is for New World Order. That's where it's taking y'all. That's where it's taking us. So Project 2025, the Presidential Transition Project. Oh, I got it. I wrote it in marker, so you know it gets, muddled. Presidential Transition. I can't read that part. It's done faded out. But anyway, Project 2025. Project 2025. Yeah, I will be editing. Is a blueprint for radical governmental changes if Donald Trump is reelected as president, and he was reelected. So this blueprint for radical governmental changes is in effect. It's in effect. It's going to eliminate the Department of Education, eliminate the Department of Commerce. Now, the programs of the Department of Education, some will be transferred to other government agencies or terminated. That's why we still got to research. We still got to learn it. What are we going to end up with? It's going to deploy the military for the use of domestic law enforcement against protesters. And that's under the Insurrection Act of 1807. We're going to have to look that up because I don't even know where it is. And I didn't put it on the wall nowhere. I probably didn't even write it down. But I recall I needed to. We probably need to highlight it. Yeah, I know. Yeah, if you're seeing it firsthand, I got to get organized with this. So we're going to look up the Insurrection Act of 1807 because when Donald Trump deploys the military for the use of domestic law enforcement against protesters, it's under the Insurrection Act of 1807. That's why we're going to look at it, you know. But Project 2025 also has the repealing of Schedule F status for thousands of federal employees to allow a president to replace career civil servants with unqualified partisan loyalists. Again, the lingo is not our everyday lingo. I enjoy reading. I truly do. But the lingo, like the legalese, we have to put some time, some effort, some repetition, some patience got to go into comprehending it. We have to look up a lot of meanings for things. Schedule F status, that in itself, we need to know what that is. See, that's why I be listening to, when I be sharing us, the Defiant Lawyers Network, Brother Dr. Reverend Augustus Corbet, because he's telling us about Project 2025. He's a civil lawyer, civil rights lawyer, what have you. Yeah. But we just have to make this a normal part of our life, Black America. We got to make this a part of our reality. Our lifestyle cannot be forfeited and sacrificed and just shunned, blase, for the sake of peace to white America. And, you know, I'm not dividing us from white America to incur any payback, because I don't condone violence. I sure don't. I don't forgive none of the violence that was perpetrated against my ancestors. And any violence that's perpetrated because of this right here, I don't condone that either. Because the time for that is past. It's gone. It's time to go now. It's time to pack up our shit and go. Get away. Get out. The movie. That's what it's time to do. That's what Bolden Unchained is saying. That's what Face the Nation is saying. It's time to go. It's time to leave. Extricate ourselves. Other than work, we should not still be up under white America. Let me say that again. Other than work, we should not be under white America. When our ancestors got us from under white America, we wasn't supposed to go back and lay down under white America again. We were supposed to build and continually build. It was a whole setup. This illusion of inclusion was a setup. I'm telling you, Black America. And it's coming around again. So for us to not know the history that has traumatized Black America, us, is just waiting for it to happen again. And let me tell you, with the New World Order, with some robots, with the futuristic world, I'm not fear-mongering. Face is not fear-mongering. Oh, no, 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 no. I'm letting Black America know from down here that we got to wake our asses up, because everybody is willing to sacrifice us, the elites, our elites, speaking about us, ours. When I'm speaking about white America, I mention white America. But other than that, I'm talking about us, ours. But our celebrities, our politicians, everybody is willing to let Black America be rolled over into a new world order. Not much better than when we left slavery, physical slavery. And everybody's okay with it. Nobody is saying, hey, we got to help Black America. We can't let Black America go into this new world order after all we've done to them. They ain't had no healing. They ain't had no resources. They can't get up. Do anybody care within us that the new world order, we gonna be the Jetsons? The Jetsons. It was a cartoon, but it was what the people that be desired for our reality, that they were gonna roll over on us. Because see, Black America is still the target. Everybody else is just pawns. Everybody else is just pawns. It's all being revealed now. It's all on YouTube, TikTok, everything. Okay, now I'm gonna have to take this phone. Give me just a minute. I'll be right down. Let's find you something. Okay. Because we cannot allow our youth, we cannot allow our future generations to go into this not knowing where we've been. Okay, we're gonna look at this. I'm coming, y'all. Hold on. Share screen.
Or copy immediately. All right, so we're going to talk about how we're going to have to power up to resist Trump's anti-Black agenda. That's what this video is going to be about. And we know that there will definitely be an anti-Black agenda. Trump has made that really, really clear over the past couple of years. Even during his first term, he was absolutely doing things that most people didn't see, didn't understand behind the scenes to take us back in various ways regarding civil rights. Now, before I get into this, I want to take a moment of silence for the lives lost in that New Orleans terrorist attack. Reportedly, a terrorist attack has occurred in the city of New Orleans, a city that I love, and it cost 10 people their lives. So let's take a moment of silence as we recognize those lost lives.
So, you've just finished writing your book and are ready to share it with the world. But wait, what's the best way to publish today? Think about it. Despite all the human progress over the last 100 years, the publishing industry hasn't changed much since the invention of the printing press. And this is why so many authors find themselves hoping for big publishing houses to notice and approve their writings, getting rejected over and over again. And even for those that decide to do it themselves, this is why most publishing solutions take so much time, 6 to 12 months, and are also very expensive, relying on numerous human inputs, making the process complicated and unpredictable, leading so many authors to quit before they even get the chance to publish their amazing work. But what if we could combine the old, standard publishing process with today's advanced technology platforms and simplify the process? What if there was a way to publish your book affordably, easily, professionally, and in less than 30 days, all done with the assistance of your own personal project manager? What if you had one simple publishing platform that allows you to easily navigate through all the stages of publishing? Join our community of happy authors. Take the first step to making your creation come to life. Visit spines.com, sign up for free, and start your publishing journey now. Spines, the same old story retold.
Woo. Whew. Well, that looked like it was a whole
All right, so listen up.
commercial.
State Farm was trying to charge me $197 for car insurance. No, thank you. I got a friend who told me about this website. Now I'm spending $58.
Yeah, I ran down there.
All right, thank you
ran
very
back
much.
up
Our
here.
prayers go out to all the
I'm out
family
of
members.
breath, but yeah.
So yes, again, Donald Trump has made it very clear that he intends to unleash an anti-Black agenda. We read about it in Project 2025. I did multiple videos. You can go back and watch those videos. He talked about it in Agenda 47, the videos that he put out. I talked about that as well. So we know that he is planning to do these things. And we can't sit back and do nothing. We got to fight back. We got to resist. All right. So as I said here, Trump promises war on his political enemies, DEI, wokeness, the Department of Justice, the Department of Education, civil rights, immigration, and more. Now, let me say about immigration. All of us should want secure borders. We don't want everyone just coming up in here and doing whatever they want to do. Like, for example, I think the guy who set the woman afire on the subway train in New York City was or is an illegal immigrant, okay? Undocumented immigrant, however you want to call it. He was not in the country legally. And to do something as heinous as that was, I mean, I can't even process that. Setting that woman afire like that was just completely heinous. And he should not have been in the country. So we all want a secure border. There's no question about that. And we want immigration reform so that the right people will come in here. So we're talking about resisting Trump's anti-Black agenda. Okay, not his efforts to secure the border, but his efforts to roll back civil rights. That's where we should be focused.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
Let me rewind
All right,
that
so
one more time.
he directs this war against DEI woke coming up in here and doing whatever they want to do. Like, for example, I think the guy who set the woman afire on the subway train in New York City was or is an illegal immigrant, okay? Undocumented immigrant, however you want to call it. He was not in the country legally. And to do something as heinous as that was, I mean, I can't even process that. Setting that woman afire like that was just completely heinous. And he should not have been in the country. So we all want a secure border. There's no question about that. And we want immigration reform so that the right people will come in here. So we're talking about resisting Trump's anti-Black agenda. Okay, not his efforts to secure the border, but his efforts to roll back civil rights. That's where we should be focused. Okay. All right. So he directs this war against DEI, wokeness, the Department of Justice, the Department of Education, civil rights. He directs that war at Black and brown communities. Hence, we must resist his efforts. Now, in a previous video, I told you we must do 5 things to resist him. Today, I am going to add 2 additional things here. So let's review those 5 things that I already gave you, and I will introduce the 2 new things that we need to do as well. All right. So we said, first, we need to decide to be courageous. Trump wants us to be quiet. Trump doesn't want us to resist him. We got to decide, as our ancestors did, despite what happens to us, despite the pushback, we got to stand up like our name, AMCA, arise, mobilize, keep advancing. Okay, so we got to decide to be courageous. Then we said we got to educate ourselves on civil rights. A lot of disinformation is out there floating around about civil rights. And it's the reason we created the Civil Rights Academy, to debunk all that disinformation about civil rights. Because if you're thinking that civil rights are no longer relevant and et cetera, then you're not going to fight for your civil rights. And that's precisely what white supremacists want you to do, because they're going after civil rights. That should tell you right there, if civil rights weren't important, they wouldn't be going after them. 3, we said we got to organize with like-minded groups, like-minded people. So if you see a group that's fighting against Trump's anti-Black agenda, and it's a group to your liking, to your taste, then join that group. And then all the groups need to network together, like the civil rights movement of the past. You had the NAACP working with the SCLC, working with SNCC, working with CORE, and so on and so on. And all those folks were linked together with the NAACP Legal Defense Fund, where Thurgood Marshall was in the court system. So we need a whole lot of different organizations networking together to fight against the rollback of civil rights. Then we have to raise awareness, because there are a whole lot of brothers and sisters out here who are not engaged. They're not keeping up with things politically. You have to raise their awareness. You got to keep talking to them. And many of them, they also are being bombarded with disinformation. So you got to talk to them. You got to be street soldiers, right? You got in your family, your community, on your job, at your church, your fraternity, those brothers and sisters who don't know what's going on. You got to be intentional about educating them. All right. So those are the 5 things we said so far. There's a whole lot more to that, but that's all I'm going to put on social media. Right. What does the Bible say? Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing. So we can't just sit here and just talk about it all. Number 6, speaking of disinformation, you got to reject disinformation. Now, if you want to know how to reject disinformation and what it is and so forth, I did a video. I think it's entitled How to Avoid Being Manipulated Online, something of that effect, just a few months ago. Go watch that video and you'll see the steps that leads up to disinformation. And then the 7th thing, and I believe the most important thing, the most powerful thing we got to do is we got to use strategic prayer. Now, let me talk about that a minute, because that shouldn't be a surprise to you that made my list, because after all, I am a preacher. I am a minister. I believe in prayer. I know the power of prayer. And so we must incorporate prayer in our struggle against Trump's anti-Black agenda. Okay? So let's look at it a little deeper here. So I call it strategic prayer, and we see that prayer is not passive. For those folks who are saying, what is prayer going to do? Well, a lot. Prayer is not passive. It is a radical and transformative act of resistance. Prayer is resistance. When you are appealing to the God of the Almighty God and the Creator who is over everything and everybody, when you are appealing to Him, that's not passive. That is transformative, and that is radical. So in our fight against Trump's anti-Black agenda, prayer is one of the most powerful tools that we have. Okay? Now, read this. Here's what you must understand. God doesn't intervene until we pray. Why? Because God gave us authority over the earth. We must invite God into our struggles, into our work, into our fight for justice. Someone once said, without God, man can do nothing. And without man, God will do nothing. This partnership between us and God is the key to real change. Because God is sovereign. He's almighty. So he can make things happen that we can't. So we have to look to him. All right? Do you think our ancestors like Frederick Douglass and Harriet Tubman fought for freedom without grounding their work in prayer? Absolutely not. Read Frederick Douglass's book. Read books on Harriet Tubman. She said that she was a prophet and that she had a divine calling to lead enslaved Africans along the Underground Railroad. And I believe her. How could that woman have led all those people along the dangerous Underground Railroad? About what? About 300 or so, maybe even more? She relied on God through prayer. We must do the same thing. So they intertwine prayer with action to end slavery. And a century later, Reverend King and the Civil Rights Movement followed the same model. They prayed as they marched, as they faced dogs and hoses, as they fought legal battles to end Jim Crow. Prayer was their foundation. It gave them strength, clarity, and direction. So we're going to try to fight this fight without asking God to intervene on our behalf? If so, our actions will be futile, totally futile. So we got to engage in strategic prayer. All right? So as we resist today, let us remember prayer is not retreating, it's not passive, it is advancing with divine power. As we arise, as we mobilize, as we keep advancing, we must do so with God's help. With God's help. So if you just simply study the civil rights movement, the abolitionist movement that ended slavery, those were praying men and women. They were on their knees praying, and they took action. You see, prayer without action is not enough, and action without prayer is not enough. So we need to do both. We need to simply follow the model that has worked to end slavery, to end Jim Crow, and so on. The Black church is a huge part of everything that we do because we learned early that God is on our side. God is always on the side of the oppressed. Okay? So here's why prayer is so powerful, especially over bad leaders. Very simply put, this scripture tells us the Lord controls rulers, kings, presidents, prime ministers. They're all under God's sovereignty. He is sovereign. He is King of kings. He is Lord of lords. They all are subject to him. And this proverb goes on to say, just as he determines the course of rivers.
Proverbs 21.
So God is the one who is behind the scenes, oftentimes not seen with the naked eye, who is directing the traffic, directing the choir, making things happen. So we have to engage God because he controls the leaders. So don't you think for a moment that Trump is in control. He's not in control.
Sure ain't.
Instead of having your business run your life,
He is not
drowning
in
in work,
control,
like I did
honey.
when I first started my business, I want to tell you about a better way. I'm Lori, a marketing consultant, speaker, and business owner. With any new business, I really wish I had HoneyBook.
And that was our brother, Augustus Corbett, and he's with the Defiant Lawyers Network. And he does have a Black agenda. He's a civil rights attorney, a pastor, one of our critical thinkers, and he's teaching us. He's helping us along with our stance against Project 2025. So I do support him, and I'm learning also so that I can build from what he's saying as well. And I invite you all to do the same. And I agree with him that, yes, we do want to secure our borders. And I want to say personally, for me, if you don't know, I feel like a bulk of these people that are coming over here, guess what? They coming over here so they can ride on Black America. So yeah, we really need to make sure that we are in agreement that our borders do need to be secure. However, our first and final focus is Black America. That's our first and final focus. Because the same way we've dealt with and endured and tolerated and circumvented white people and all of their violence against Black America, it did teach us how to be strong. It did teach us how to watch ourselves, watch over ourselves. And we have to do that with everybody. With the immigrants that's coming here for show, we have to do that. But we got to make sure Black America is our first and final focus. Our well-being and our sanity in America is our first focus. Now, while there is some speculation, some I don't know, some doubt, some worry, some concern about all the immigrants coming into the country. You know, we don't want to, we not the people that will put someone, that will send someone back to their death. The people that are running from their country because their lives are at stake, we're not trying to send them people back to their death where we know they'll surely be slaughtered. You know, we don't want that for people. You know, we are a peaceful people in our hearts. And Black America, I feel like Black America, if people need to come here for their safety and to save their families, we don't say you can't come to America, you can't be here. But we do realize that we have to make sure we're safe. We can't just keep letting trauma and targets be put up on us by any and everybody because of the fact that white America, and that's whose fault it is, white America has stained the essence of Black America to the world. White America, the one that has perpetrated the non-human of the Black man to the world. So yeah, we are concerned about all the other people that's coming here, no doubt hating Black America, but that's not our first and final focus. Our first and final focus is our natural, our open enemy, white America. And with all that's happening in the world, if we go to war, we all gonna be in a war. Because guess what? Black America been in a war. We've been in this war right here. And it's because of white America. For all the love, it's because of white America. And we still sincere with white America. We sincere telling you I'm sincere. And I know my people are. We sincere telling you the good and the bad that you've been and given to us. And quite frankly, personally, for me, my opinion, honey, the bad far outweigh any good that white America has contributed, created, bestowed upon Black America. We could have done without all of y'all asses. Whatever you created and built, we could have done without it. For all the hell you caused Black America right here. And that's how I feel about it. And ain't nobody gonna change my mind about it. You know, Black America is our first and final focus. From where I am, from me, my ancestors. No, you can't put somebody else in the lead for me, not face. You cannot, no, you can't put nobody up that's more important. Sure can't all the little bitty babies and stuff. Trump get to deporting everybody. Bye. We hope you can go home to your countries and build your countries safe for you and your families. But we ain't finna fight that battle with y'all. We ain't finna fight no battle to keep nobody here in America. And then y'all turn around and turn on us. You came here to get on us. You got on us. What little bit you could. Now you got to go. So you need us, and we keep you here. We help you. And then you get on us again. Nah, we ain't finna do that. Black America is not finna do that. And it might not be many that think like me, but it's some. It's some of us. It's some. We sick and tired of the shit. Everybody. We finna be for us now. And that's where we at with Bolden Unchained. Yeah. Sure wills. And it feels good. It feels good to be able to know that can't nobody tell me my ancestors didn't struggle, didn't suffer. They didn't look the devil right in his face and think about us. Their first thought was, no, my future ancestors, my future descendants, our future generations, we got to get them away from this. We can't let them go through this. I love our ancestors so much. Let me see if I turned on my oven. Because I was going to. Yep, I sure did. I was going to have a little something to eat, but I'll go on and fast until, a little later. I'm drinking tea anyway. And that's another thing, Black America. Wean ourselves in unlearning and relearning everything about Black America, white America too, because we finna study white America. They done studied us enough. It's time to study white America now. But we must change everything. We've learned everything that white America has taught us. And now it's time to unlearn it. Unlearn all that bullshit. Neely Fuller said, if you don't understand white supremacy and racism, everything you think you understand will only confuse you. I printed this off. And it didn't print the whole thing off for me. So I took what it did print off and put it in a picture frame. There it goes over there. But Black America, it's just time to put the focus back on us. We cannot remain in this situation, because when Neely Fuller said that everything across the board, he's talking about everything. There's 9 areas of life. We went over the other day, and I got 6 and didn't remember 3. There's law, labor, education, entertainment, religion, medical. White supremacy, racism controls all of it, every aspect of life. So we got to change every aspect of life from that mindset. Even the way we eat. Black America, we ain't supposed to be eating like white America. I know We had to eat chitlins. I know. We had to eat the pork. I know. I love the bacon. But I don't eat it anymore. I weaned myself from it. The pig don't even sweat. I'm just saying that to say that we can't eat like white America. We're not supposed to. We are different. Yeah, we got 2 arms, 2 hands, 2 legs, 1 head. But we're supposed to eat different than white America. Let me show you why. Let me get this. Let me show you why. I just took some notes on it. I don't know why I keep getting up without my glasses. Here it is right here. Let me show you why we must eat differently than what we've been eating. Everybody is sick. I know. I've had aunties and cousins that's had high blood pressure, high cholesterol, diabetes, and they would say it's generational. It's just because we all eating the same no good ass food. Well, I'm gonna just mention this right here about the protein. We get our protein from meat. Well, really, we're supposed to get our protein from the plants, because plants has amino acid structure, and it ain't ate by something. Get our protein from fruits, because fruits got amino acid structure. Now, the meat, we get the meat. The meat done ate that plant. It's already, the protein already been metabolized. It's really complex. I had no idea. But me personally, I've slacked up eating meat, and I'm doing really good too, because the meat today is not the same meat that we could safely eat. The meat today got meat glue in it. It's got so many carcinogens in it, dyes, where they dye the meat and make the steak look real fresh. But it ain't. It's actually dye. Meat glue, where they take the bits and pieces of meat that they done cut and stuff and put the glue in it and stick it together. And you think it's fat, but it's glue, which when heated and cooked, probably little bits of it seeps into the meat and stuff. So yeah, I can do without all that. But I was saying that we're supposed to eat differently because we're biologically different. I know. School didn't teach me this. That's why you see notes everywhere. I take notes of everything, because school didn't teach us half of this. That black media, black critical thinkers, black scholars, black experts. Yes, we don't have to just listen to white media no more. We got black media that loves black people. White media could have told us the truth too. White media could have told us. But see, white media ain't been telling us that because they want to keep us sick. White media needs to keep us sick, distracted. They need to keep us in the throes of white supremacy, suppression. White media needs to. That's why we must detour from white media. Look at some of it if you want to. Yeah, look at your news and, the stocks, Bloomberg and stuff. But as far as that distractions and stuff with white media and stuff, we need to be looking at black media every chance we get. So I wanted to tell us we're biologically different because our amino acids is different. And then I got a recent note here. Our DNA is carbon, selenium, and something else. Caucasian's DNA is sulfur, nitrogen, and ammonia. And most of them elements right there, no, I'm not familiar with them. But I know sulfur, nitrogen, and ammonia is harsh ass chemicals. So if white people made up of sulfur, nitrogen, and ammonia, they can damn near eat nails. But us, who's made up of selenium, carbon, and I can't make out the other word right there, we can't eat nails. That's why we can't eat the same as white people. They can digest it. We can't. It makes us sick. Our biology is different. The DNA, our biology is different. Our carbon melanin content is different. And see, all of these right here could be a study, y'all. And it is some more. This is just a paper I got and tore in half so I can write on it. But we can make this a whole study, a whole lesson. I am. Our teeth structure is different. Our teeth is different than white America's teeth. Yeah, they teeth. We're supposed to eat with them, but the teeth structure is different. Oh, and another thing, don't let your babies eat apples on the side because it'll wear your teeth. It'll wear your teeth like that, like mine. Have them eat it on the front or cut it up for them. Then you might not need braces and stuff. But yeah, we got to relearn. And some of it won't even cost no money. Yeah, it won't cost no money to unlearn and relearn. Unless you want to throw away all that stuff you got and go buy new stuff. Throw away all them fanciful, them misleading books in your library, Harlequin romance, and and go buy you some real books to read. Our hair is different. Something as significant as our hair, something that's simple yet significant as our hair. Our hair has always been hated. We know that. But look at it. Look at our hair. It's different. It's so versatile. Our hair is so different. Our hair is the antennas to the cosmos. Our hair is. Our bodies hold more electrolytes, minerals, and salts than anybody. Our hydrochloric acids in our stomach is 10 times weaker than white folks. I know. You think all milk ain't hurting us. We can drink milk, and milk ain't doing nothing to us. But honey, in the middle of the night, let me tell you, your body get the firing off left, right, up, down, inside, out, just spinning. Because that milk done tore everything up. Certain foods that we do ingest when we relax at night and our body is resting, it wreaks havoc on our bodies. But honey, I can tell you now, I can drink some milk right now. Honey, I'm finna start firing off right now. But some of us, yeah, we under the illusion that, milk ain't hurting us, milk ain't doing nothing. And then over time, it's done a little bit more damage to you because you done kept drinking it. You done got used to it. You didn't notice you got man boobs. Or, you didn't notice that something that gradually happened occurred because of the food. And it could be internal or outward. Man boobs is outward, of course. But, and that's all the estrogen and stuff. Milk is for the cows, baby. Milk is for the cows, baby. I read some years ago that milk don't even do the teeth good, the bones either. Milk really has no beneficial nutrients for us. Because our bodies don't make the necessary enzyme, or it doesn't have the necessary enzyme to accommodate milk. Not to mention milk ain't nothing but pus and blood. Did y'all see that video on YouTube? Put it in there, milk, pus and blood. It's going to pull up all kind of stuff. Then our intestines is much shorter. Our intestines is much shorter. So yeah, we are different. That's a bunch of bullshit that we the same. We is not the motherfucking same. So that's why we must change our lifestyles for everything. What we watch on TV, what we listen to in music. Do y'all know they changed the frequency of music? Did y'all know they use our music, all that crazy stuff? In Guantanamo Bay, they used to use it on them inmates to torture them. Turn it up real loud and torture them and stuff. I thought if anything was being used for that, it was that head banging stuff, you know, where everybody doing like that and playing them loud guitars. And I thought that probably would do it, but no. It's rap, trap rap, whatever they call it, that they use. What we watch on TV, what we eat, what we drink, everything, every aspect of our life, we must unlearn how we learned it through white America, because it wasn't for our benefit. It was for their benefit. Like the milk. Instead of breastfeeding our babies, we running by the milk, which is funding. Milk is a $1 billion industry, multi-billion, probably. When we got milk for our babies. Because see, white folks decided, in my opinion, that hell, if they weren't using our milk to feed white babies, we weren't going to use it either. That's how they felt. And that's why Fannie Lou Hamer, when she said, if we ain't going to be free, y'all ain't going to be free either. If we ain't going to have comfort, y'all ain't going to have comfort either. Then black folks fell for the okie doke. That's okay. We don't even need it. We don't need that pillow. You take it. Turn the other cheek. We don't need that. You take it. Turn the other cheek. And here we are today, allegedly 2025. I want to read off some of our critical thinkers, our scholars and experts for y'all before we get to reading. Because you know I've been thinking about Benjamin Pap Singleton. Pap Singleton. I've been thinking about him too. Dick Gregory. Love Dick Gregory. Dr. Francis Cress Wells, and write them down if you want to. It ain't gonna be like 10, maybe 15. I just found this somewhere. Dick Gregory, Dr. Francis Cress Welsing, Dr. Claude Anderson, and we have his books. We have a couple of Dr. Claude Anderson's books that I probably have to reorder his collection again, because I think I only have 2. But we do have some of his literature. We're going to be getting other literatures too. We have Dr. Umar Johnson, Dr. Khalid Muhammad, Dr. Amos Wilson, Dr. Barbara Sizemore, Dr. John Henry Clark, Dr. Nell Irving Painter, Dr. Delbert Blair, Dr. Boyce Watkins, Dr. Neely Fuller, Farrakhan. Put Farrakhan on your list. Anthony Browder. I have a lot more names on here too. Oh, we look at those books. We got to get right there. These books came from put down Dr. Joy DeGruy, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome. And you know, she told us to get The Color of Law, Sundown Towns, No Equal Justice, Two Nations, Black and White, and PTSD, Post-Traumatic Slave Syndrome, Slave Disorder. I think those are her books. PTSD, and maybe one other. But those are some books she told us to get to. So we will be adding to our library. But yeah, I've been thinking about PAP. And it's really short, but I want to read it again. Because this was the Great Exodus. Now, I thought that Black America, when we fled the South, we went north. But Black America also fled the South and went west. And that's known as the Great Exodus. And so in 1879, wow. So in 1879, over 50,000 African Americans packed up their few belongings and headed west, looking for a better life. Yes, together. They left together. 50,000. That's why it was called the Great Exodus. The hard days of Reconstruction, bad crops, and an outbreak of yellow fever, violence, and discrimination in the South had caused the Great Movement. Black people was fed up. We was tired. We just said, hey, we could try somewhere else. Let's just try somewhere else. The Great Exodus was led by Benjamin Pap Singleton. Pap Singleton was an ex-slave from Tennessee. And honey, when he said, hell no, I'm leaving, that's what he meant. Yes, Pap traveled throughout the South, urging Black people to follow him to Kansas. In Kansas, he said Blacks could set up their own towns and communities and be free of all the harassment that they were suffering in the South. By the summer of 1879, 10,000 Black exodusters had moved to Kansas. They settled there and established their own small communities. Some African Americans did not think that the Exodus was a good idea. They thought that Blacks should stay and fight for better living conditions. But thousands of Blacks continued to look for a bright future in the West. They wanted to forget Reconstruction, sharecropping, violence, and discrimination. They wanted to get the hell away from white folks like that. Them racist ass white folks. That's what they wanted. Because they knew white folks wasn't sincere. Why stay here? At first, it seemed that they had left all these things behind. But the winter of 1879 would change their mind. Honey, it got cold. There wasn't no food growing nowhere. The winter was very cold. Many died of diseases and starvation. They soon found that sunny Kansas was not their idea of a good place to live. They soon found, too, that whites had begun to settle in Kansas, too. They then had to compete for jobs and land. Discrimination was a problem, too. Some stuck it out, but many returned to worse conditions in the South. The sudden mass migration of Blacks from the South had alarmed white Southern farmers. In a sense, in 1881, a Senate committee was appointed to investigate this great movement. During the hearing, Pap Singleton testified that he was the one who started the Great Exodus West. In 1882, in Topeka, Kansas, a grand celebration was given to honor Benjamin Pap Singleton for his part in helping Blacks to try a new life. Just try it. But see, because of the winters, Black America wasn't able to, a lot of Black African Americans weren't able to prosper in Kansas, and they had to go back. I think this is going to be it because the battery just notified that it's going to, cut off on us. But peace and power to the people, and we will see you all tonight for Midnight with the Ancestors. And just keep the faith. Keep the faith, Black America. Because one thing I know is we are not alone. We are not alone. Don't ever let anyone or even the agendas, the obstacles that are against us make us feel like we have to hold and cuddle with the saviors or the savings that white America has provided for us. The programs, the institutions, because we supposed to provide for us. White America ain't gonna never give us what we need, what we're supposed to have. And that's why I say white America is not sincere with Black America. So yeah, I want to stress again, other than work, other than work, other than work, we must use discernment. I know we got a lot of mixtures in our families. We've procreated and mingled and married and had babies and built businesses. And it is what it is. But it still remains that Black America is still oppressed by white America. By white America. The systemic oppression. And we got to face it. We have to face it, And, just educate your non-melanin loves, the people in your life. Just educate them and you'll know. They'll let you know if it's important. They'll let you know if we don't want to hear about that shit. Turn that shit off. Ain't you tired of talking about them? Ain't you tired of talking about that? No, we ain't. Don't nobody tell the Jews to forget. And look, check this out. Check this out. Don't nobody tell the Jews to forget about what happened to their people. Yeah, I started reading it. Probably take me a couple of months because it ain't my priority to read it. But I'm reading it. But nobody tell them to forget about their Holocaust. They only tell Black America that because they know that they've traumatized us to the point that we don't critically think as far as they're concerned. We don't use discernment as far as white America concerned. But we got to start. Yes, I'm going to let you go because I don't want to keep you all and stuff. And the computer is going to cut off anyway. Yeah, so we may as well. Yep, we got 6 minutes. So we may as well let you go. And everyone have a wonderful day. And we will see you tonight. Yeah. Yeah, remember your ancestors.